I wish she catch cancer.
Oh, you can do that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, he was just saying. I heard he was saying her grandmama.
What did you say?
I mean, like,
you pray something?
honestly, my
She
mom
just, first of all, no. Stop this. All right, so she just prayed. She just prayed for the store to go down.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Brianna Nakai. I'm back here with another video, a part 2 of what it's like being a black minority in the Air Force today during the Black Lives Matter movement. So right now I'm here with my friends and they're gonna share their personal experiences and opinions on what it's like in being black in the military. So I have a series of questions that I'm going to be asking them, and we're gonna do kind of like an interview style, open discussion type format video to express to you guys our thoughts and true feelings and opinions. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go around the couch. Okay, this is like my version of the red table with Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay, we're gonna go around the couch and basically give our age and how long that we've been in the military. All right, so we're gonna start with you.
20 years old and a year and a half being in the military.
Okay.
All right, I'm 20 and I've been in the military for 2 years.
All right, and I am 28 and I've been in the military for 7+ years.
Maybe we should never did this.
Wow! Y'all are so shady. Y'all are shady. Maybe I should have gone last.
Yeah.
You go.
She pushing 30.
Shut up. Go ahead.
She knocked up.
Man, go on, man. Go ahead. Your turn.
Hello? It's me. Can you hear me?
Y'all are shady. Go.
Okay. I am 27. I have been in for a year and some change. Oh, a year and 6 months.
Jeez.
Aww.
Almost 2 years.
You're 27?
Why y'all ain't going in on her?
Because she ain't been in that
I'm not as old as you.
Yeah, hello?
Whatever.
I'm a age.
Yo.
I've been in.
26.
Wow.
That's crazy. Just give him a social security number while you at it.
3.
Whoa! Y'all bugging.
I am 26 years old. I've been in the military 6+ years.
So now we're gonna get into these hot topic questions, guys. Stay tuned. So the first question that I'm gonna ask is, what is it like being black in the military? And we're gonna start off with discussing the pros of being black in the military. I feel like right now, one of my pros of being black in the military would be the fact that we have a really good support system amongst each other, as you can see with everyone here. And I feel like that's one of my pros. What are y'all pros about being black in the military today?
So one of my pros of being black in the military, I don't know, when I first got in, I had a supervisor. Well, I had a whole work session that I was kind of big in, so I was labeled as the big black guy.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was kind of like scared to like make me do stuff. So it pretty much gave me leeway to not necessarily do whatever I wanted, but to like stay out of the eye a little bit.
To have more freedom?
Yeah, have a little more freedom.
Okay.
But it's like, so they wouldn't tell me to do stuff, so I just focused on my schooling and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much scared of me. That's a pro.
That's like an awkward pro.
It's like a backhanded pro.
Like a true backhanded pro.
Oh, here comes Smith. Shut up. You know, like,
Don't make him do
deep, bold. But yeah, that's one of my pros.
So I like how, well, same thing you said. You know how black community is strong, support system is strong. We always have each other's back. Sometimes, you know, when you at work, like, but you can always have somebody to talk to if you like going through things at work and have a, you know, a mentor and stuff, even if it's from a different job.
I can piggyback on that. Yeah, so like having a mentor from another job, like, you know, if like you said, you're going through stuff back at home, or you know, just in general. You know, you also have that one person or that people in that corner that you can just rely on. And yeah, that's probably one of my pros, because a lot of things been going on. I just need like people to talk to. I'd have certain people I speak certain topics about too.
Like I would agree with what you said, because then like in certain areas like where you might need something, like you meet somebody like at a party or like at the club, and you'd be like, oh hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, I can hook that up for you. So I mean, like, that's always nice. I mean, like, other people do that too, but you know, it's
kind.
different because it's different.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different when you got your
when you got your family there.
All right. So, what would you say are some of the cons in the military? I know for me, sometimes like I would say, I guess like being stereotyped. Obviously, it happens like outside in the civilian world. It happens like all the time in different employers. The military is obviously not the only place that I've experienced being like stereotyped as like being a typical black woman, whatever that is, you know. So that's what I've experienced, and that's I would probably say that's like my only con about being black in the military for me personally.
Stereotyping. I feel like sometimes like we stand out more than everybody else.
As if we don't already stand out. I'm just kidding.
Like, I already stand out even more because I'm already tall. So, so it's like walking on eggshells, trying to fake it till you make it, and stand. It's like you try to stay low, but then they always try to find something little to like get you in trouble or something. Like, okay, they did it and they didn't get nothing. Wow. Like,
okay, so yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand that completely. What about you guys?
I mean, like personally, like for me, I haven't experienced that, but I know others have, and I know like when I was in basic, like one girl, like on one of the first days, and it was like the thing that got me was it was one of the black instructors that came to her and said this, and he picked on her the entire time, like the whole time we were in basic about it. He was like, you got an attitude, your face needs to be fixed, all this and that. And it's like in one sense, like I felt like he was like kind of preparing her for like what the actual Air Force is like, because that does happen. But at the same time, I'm just like, but I was like, you shouldn't be doing that to her. Yeah. Because you know how it is for black women.
And was he like, a different race?
No, he's black.
Oh, okay.
And and then like at that time, like I was like, okay, maybe he's doing this because he's gonna say that this is gonna be like how it is. But then he said like something else to another girl, like about in basic, like yeah, like our flight we had a lot of drama. And they said that and he was like, well, most of the drama comes from the black girls.
What?
And I was like, first of all, that is not true.
Right.
I was like, because like one thing about our flight, that really kind of stood out was that we had like a really diverse flight, which is really strange. Because like I looked at like our brother flight, and they were, I mean, like there was like a handful. It just wasn't in the same as like our flight. Our flight was very diverse, and like when he said that, I was just like, really? I'm like, that was just so rude. And I was like, he didn't say it to me, but he said it to another black girl on our flight, and like she was like one of the sweetest people. Like she was just really, really kind and like just kind-hearted, and it's like she didn't have drama with anybody. And I was like, why would you even say that to her? And the fact that was said, I was like, that's just really like for black women, period, like that's an issue, because like obviously like we are not drama starters, like we
right.
And to get like just to be put like that and like say that was the tension in our flight was because of us. So I was like, that's just disgusting, especially coming from like a black man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just
Somebody
really
really broke
upsetting.
his heart.
Yeah, he must have got his heart real broken.
But I mean, that was just like a situation. But I'm not saying that's isolated within the military, because like you said, like stereotypes and things like that, like you get placed into a box.
Yeah,
And I mean, like that happens in and outside of the military.
it definitely does.
I don't know. It just does, and it's unfortunate.
What about you guys? Have you guys experienced being stereotyped, like in the military, outside of the military?
By being in the military, being black in the military, we do get stereotyped a lot. Just like I just spoke in the previous pro, I was labeled as the big black guy. So a lot of stereotypes came with that. Although I was being called mean, or I had an attitude because my face never had a smile on it because I was just doing my job.
Oh, so you had the RBF, essentially?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was something like that. I'm like, man, I'm not smiling because I don't feel like smiling. It's not because I'm mad. It's just like I want to do my job and go home. You know? But everybody wanted to smile, you know. See, that's when I developed this other kind that I don't like about the military. You always have to wear this mask. It's like you got to keep and establish yourself away from your job. It's like when you at home, when you're floating around, you can do whatever, be whatever.
Yeah.
And if you go into work, you got to put on a whole nother persona. You got to have the smiles, you got to have the jokes, you got to have your work ethic, you got to have pretty much everything business-wise that you need to maintain that job or career.
So it's almost like you can't even be genuinely yourself because you have to like put on this persona to be, I guess, 10 times better just to be average, essentially. Do you guys feel like that?
Almost definitely. I promise you, I'm looked at 24/7. Like literally, like you said, looking mean, having an attitude per se.
So your comment is you always got a target on your back.
Oh, most definitely. The target is not this big at that point.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next question, and the next question is: do you feel as though military members also experience police brutality? And I'm not saying like police brutality just outside in the civilian world, like maybe from security forces. Like, do you think that we go through the same things like in-house?
So on this base, I've been stopped a total of 6 times.
6? That's actually quite excessive.
Okay. All right. So listen to my story.
Let's talk about it.
All right. Check this out.
Okay. All right.
I got heavy feet.
Wow.
I got heavy feet.
That's your excuse. Okay.
But every time they stopped me, they were very understanding about it. And here if y'all haven't noticed, so police, they give you warnings. Then after that, after your second warning, if it's in the same following time frame that you get stopped, then they notify your leadership. So it's kind of like that. So it's not like on base we go to jail or nothing like that. It's everything revolves around your leadership. So if they stop you and you're speeding, which I was, and say if I didn't have insurance, then then I'll be in trouble. They'll probably tell my leadership. Then I have to drop my car off somewhere or something like that. But every time they stopped me, I had everything in order. I had my license, registration, everything was okay to go. So it was like, okay, slap on the wrist, pop, stop speeding. Again, sir. Then they tell me to go about my business. It's like, yeah.
And you still got your license? After 6 times?
Yes.
Me personally, I've never been pulled over by security forces. I know I had one little slip up when I first joined the military and security forces got involved, but it was never anything like what is experienced normally on the civilian side. Like, obviously they have like strict like guidelines to abide by. Like, do you guys think that if the civilian police force operated under like military standards, do you guys think that there would be like a significant difference in what's going on?
Yeah, because they have like during the talk that we had, someone said that like the training that that they go through is way better than outside.
Wow.
And they're taught a lot more than they are on the outside. So it's like law enforcement outside needs to adopt some of the training that the military does. And it's like, I get it, like demilitarizing the police. But it's like, in that sense, it's like, one, security forces, they don't be like when you get pulled over, nobody's out there like pulling up on you like with hand on gun and being like, oh my gosh, this dude's about to do something. Like, I've seen videos of like some people where like people just be going off on police, and it's like, yeah, it's like, I get that, but at the same time, like, their job is to protect and serve, not to be like harming citizens, because like, obviously civilians are not trained to handle police. Like, we're taught to we're taught to respect law enforcement, and it's like, even when you respect them, then like, if they feel like they're not being respected or whatever that it means to them, then they're gonna pop off on you. So it's like, what does that even mean anymore? If you're not and then like, if your respect isn't being reciprocated. So I just feel like in the military, like, there's a different level of respect that everybody has for each other. So it's like, I agree. I don't know. I feel like that because like people, like, one, it is a smaller community. Like, in the military, like, the military is a smaller community than 1%. Right. So it's like, I don't know, it's not that everybody knows each other, because like, obviously we don't know everybody, but you just do have like that mutual respect for people. Like, it's just, and obviously we're held to a higher standard. So you just have that respect for one another. Like, even like when they pull you over, like, they're gonna respect you as somebody who's driving too fast, and you're going to respect the fact that you're like, yeah, I was driving too fast. I get it. So it's just mutual respect, I think. Okay. Do you guys agree?
I can enlighten that a little bit more. So my prior job was security forces.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I did not know that. So you cross-trained?
Actually, I got kicked out. Ended up in another job.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
It's not funny.
But yeah, so okay.
Okay, continue, sir.
Continue. Sorry, bro.
All right.
Don't cry. You cry?
No, y'all just my friends. Y'all can do that. Anyway. So I can speak deeply on it. I'm not gonna like take too much time, but I know that after basic, we do have to go through another training. We go through tech school just like everybody else. We're not even handed a gun until we like, you know how when we go to tech school, you already have the gun. Which is the M4.
Yeah.
So we wasn't allowed to get our gun until like
I thought it was
we were properly trained on these little rubber guns.
Okay.
And everything. And we were always taught, never pull your gun out until you're going to use it. So in other words, it's kind of like a cushion, but you should have the training to be ready for this at all times. So it's like pretty much you don't pull your gun out until the threat arises. So you don't pull a gun out until that person, we even went through simulators. Like, they had simulators, like, it was like a room like this, all black. You had a screen on the front, and you had like a fake gun on your holster, and the screen would like show a situation that's happening at that moment. And you could not shoot this person or even touch or draw your gun unless a gun is being directly aimed at you. That's how it. Other than that, you can respond with some, like, it's not aggressive force, but it's like restraint. Like, you're supposed to restrain the threat. So after you handcuff them, he's restrained. You're done. Right. There's nothing he can do to get out. If you did it right, there's nothing that person can do to get out the handcuffs. So he is no longer a threat.
Right.
So pretty much, like, after you handcuff that person, get him on the ground, you sit him up, you talk to him, or you can read him your rights, write him and remain silent, write to attorney, cannot afford it. That's, you know, all the whole talk, the whole 9 yards and everything. But after seeing, you know, what happens stateside and the stuff that they're going through, and how, I don't want to say ill-trained, what's another word for ill-trained? Less trained.
So, you could have just used ill-trained.
Like, I'm not home, so I don't know. I'm just, you know, looking out for videos and police walking up to the door with their gun already out their holster. if that happens in the military, yo, you getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Not only are you getting kicked out, but you're probably facing time or article.
Yeah.
So it's like it's different. I definitely think they need more training. If it would be awesome if the military can, you know, give them pointers or they can
train.
just adapt.
Yeah. Could train civilian officers.
Yeah, more better.
There'll probably be less officers then, because everybody ain't gonna want their training.
Mm-hmm.
Not for real.
That's true.
Because they so used to pulling their gun out first thing, and they ain't going to do that because that's gonna put their life on the line.
Right. So you're saying that they're so used to having that freedom to be able to just like react so quickly versus like in the military, like there's but it's more strict.
Yeah, because I mean, like you think about like all of our jobs, like how the training that we receive is like they're strict about like everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're very by the book about like our training, like anything that we like, any job that you're in. So it's like that wouldn't be any different in the police training. So it's like the fact of the matter is like outside, like you can be real lax about what you do, like real lax. Like I mean, like I work in corporate. I would finish my work at 10 o'clock some days. I got there at 7. What did I do with the last 5 hours of the day? You know, I made lists.
What you gonna do tomorrow?
I was like, what am I gonna do when I get home?
I bet your boss looking at this right now. Said, I should have fired that.
They were trying to give me a raise and promote me.
What?
Okay.
I mean,
Boss status.
the fact of the matter is, I was still getting my work done.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like, you know, that's not how it is here.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, like, I would go up in there and ask people. I'd be like, hey, is there something for me to do? And they'd be like, maybe check back tomorrow. I was like, it's 11 o'clock. Tomorrow? Can I go home?
Right.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you don't get paid if you go home. And I was like, well, I'll just sit.
That's one thing I do love about the military, though.
You get paid.
So let's go on to the next question. The next question is, have you experienced racism, discrimination, being stereotyped, and or racially profiled? And this is just like your experience general. So not necessarily in the military, but just period.
Oh yes.
Lee.
One of the time I was
He said one at a time. Like he about to go through a list, y'all. Like what?
give me my scroll over there.
Listen, we trying to let this be under an hour long. What?
Alright, so
4 hours.
First detail that come to mind is like, you know, when you first get in, you know, young me growing up, oh yeah, I made it out the hood, so people speak. I made it out the hood, you know, I'm way in England. I'm about to live it up. I'm about to go ahead and get this money, get this bread, yeah. So I tried to make below the zone. So I started doing all this.
Explain what below the zone is.
Below the zone is early promotion. So you come in as an A1C, and A1Z, wow. You come in as an A1C, and if you want to put your one rank on early, that's promotion to senior airman, that's E3. You get more money, a little bit more money. I think it's like $100.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's a start. So
yeah.
You know, it's one rank, because I was thinking of the big picture. So the fastest I can hit senior airman, the fastest I can hit staff.
Right, which
That's
is
my big
E5.
goal. Yeah. Because the A1C lived in the dorms, that money wasn't getting it. I had big plans. Big plans.
Okay.
So anyway, I was trying to get below the zone. I did everything under the zone. Like, I did commander's calls, I did retirements, I did honor guard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, honor
Oh, I was really trying to get it. And my last little bit was I was going head to head with this dude. And my last little thing I had to do was win dorm of the year. I won dorm of the quarter. I won it. Cause let me explain my little room setup.
Oh God, we about to be here for an hour, y'all. Listen, I was trying to keep it under an hour, but
let me tell you something. So listen. I ain't like the bed, so I bought my own bed.
You bought your own bed for the dorm?
Yeah.
Where you put the bed at then?
I put it in storage. They said I had to pay for it, so I put it in the storage. So the way I bought this, it was like
what did that A1C check one?
It was like a queen size. Can I finish?
Oh,
you can finish.
All right, so it was a Tempur-Pedic. You know, a young man needs his sleep. Let me explain. All right, so I had the Tempur-Pedic. I had the couch in my house. I mean, in my dorm room, I had the little couch.
A dorm is like a 4x4. How did you?
Because I'm pretty sure y'all didn't have.
I had my ways. All right, so what in the career field I'm in now? Anyway, so I had like my room like doped out. I had the LED lights around, and I had the little drape, but like they call it princess drape and call it the king drape. So you know, like you hang it down from the ceiling and it drapes over your bed. It was all black. Yeah. So I won dorm of the quarter. My room stayed clean. And then I was going up for dorm of the year, and this still put me over the edge to get BTC.
Okay.
So I ended up getting beat by another male that was of a different color than I was.
Okay.
And had more of the eye of leadership at that time. Because he used to volunteer over, well, he worked with them. Like, he was in the building they was in. So they saw him every day.
So a familiar face, pretty much.
So, well, long story short, I asked him, how can I lose? And I saw his room. And his room was dope, but I think mine was better. Of course, I think mine was better.
Of course.
So, and they said my room lacked character. Like,
character?
Yeah. So that's the reason I lost. My room lacked character. Because he had, so let me explain. Character just means like decorations. Like my room was decorated, but his was decorated. Like he had pictures of what Beastie Boys or some little rock band group or whatever like that. He had LED lights too. His pad was dope. He just had a few posters on the wall, and he won. So I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Wow, that's character.
Yeah,
character. That's character.
And then like when I looked at his EPR, his rack and stack, he ain't did as nearby as much as me.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
but just because he won like dorm of the year and I won dorm of the quarter, it's like okay, whatever.
Okay. So do you think that was more of a race thing, or was that more of a
race thing?
or was that more of a, you know, like it's not who you know, I mean it's not what you know but who you know type of thing?
I feel like it definitely was a race thing because
he worked harder than you.
I worked harder than him. I did commander squad retirement, so I had to see leadership all the time.
I know it's
come on now. I did honor guard. The leader of honor guard at the time, he was working in the wing building too, so I knew him already.
Okay, I'm just playing the devil's advocate, you know, just trying to, you know.
I think it's one of those things, you know. But you can't, like, me growing up, I let it get to me at first. I was like, you know, F this, F that. I'm not doing nothing no more. You ain't getting me doing nothing. You this? Nah, I'm good. So I was like one of those type of airmen. Then, like, after that, after I didn't get the BTC reverse or go for BTC or nothing, I was kind of like, I wasn't destroyed. I was like, you know what? I'm just here to get a paycheck, go home, and finish my school studies.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Attitudes. Let's talk on that.
Let's talk about it.
And like I said, this is not just about like in the, this is just in
the
life
military,
period.
I went to all black school, so I never got, you know, stereotyped or nothing because we was all black.
Okay.
Black teachers. I mean, we all the same. I mean, you know, we always got little attitudes, but you know, black people understand, like, oh, you know, maybe they just having a bad day, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they just, you know, they just say a few words and then it's about your way.
Right.
But people in the military, they always think black women have attitudes when we don't have attitudes. Saying that we have an attitude and we don't have an attitude makes you have an attitude.
I know I personally have experienced being like stereotyped. I remember a long time ago, like my mom, she used to work at the mall, and this was just kind of like a second job that she just like to do. She used to work like doing like jewelry in the mall, and I remember like me and my best friend just we went to work with my mom because it was at the mall, so we just like roamed the mall while she was like doing her job. And so that essentially meant that we were there for like 4 hours. Like, dang, that is a long time to be at the mall. But we were there for like 4 hours. And I remember that we went into this popular store. I'm not going to say the name of the store, but we went into this popular store. And it was like my first time going into this store. And I remember like my best friend, like she was on her cell phone like talking to somebody, and she was just kind of like following me around. You know when you're like unconsciously, like when you're on your phone, you're not really thinking about what you're doing, you're just kind of like doing things. So I was walking around and she was just following me as she was talking, and I remember that I guess I walked into kind of like the back area. It wasn't necessarily the actual store itself. It looked like fitting rooms, but like vacant fitting rooms, like fitting rooms that they were probably using for storage. And I remember like one of the workers came back to that area and was just kind of like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be back here. Mine now, I'm a teenager. I'm probably like 15 to, no, actually I was a little younger. I was probably like 13 to 16 when this took place. So she came to me and was just like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be back here. And I explained to them like, hey, this is my first time in the store. I didn't really know where I was going. I was just walking around. Like, I don't know anything about the store. It's my first time in here. And after that, I noticed that they were kind of like talking on their little walkie-talkies, like, you know, I guess watch this person or watch that person. I don't know, because like after that instance, like they started watching me more, like watching me and her. And my friend, she's mixed, but she appears Caucasian. So they're following us around. They're just like watching us really hard. And once I, you know, got a whiff that they were like watching us, you know, I started egging it on, because at this point I was starting to get really mad, like really pissed off. And I started like walking around like with my jacket, because I had on the jacket, so I kind of like puffed it out. And like I was just kind of like, oh, you guys are like obviously you're watching me because you're trying to say that I'm stealing or I'm trying to steal. So I don't know why I did this. I was just young, but I puffed out my jacket even more. It was just kind of like, you know what, whatever, because I'm going to prove to them that I'm not trying to steal. Like I'm not what they're basically trying to pin on me. Like I'm not what they're trying to pin on me. So then, like right when they like all eyes was on me and they saw my puffed out jacket, because I was just kind of like holding it out with my hands in, kind of like this. Once all of their eyes were on me, I went ahead and I just zipped down my jacket and opened it up and kind of like flashed that, ha, I don't have anything. You stereotyping me.
You flashed them people.
Yeah, I flashed them. I definitely did. I unzipped my jacket like with the strongest force, like,
You nasty.
whatever.
Okay.
But
Should have liked that for indecent exposure.
Nasty.
But it's just like, so I mean, and I did that to basically prove a statement that, you know, don't try to pin the thought of, oh, just because I'm black and I'm in the store and I walked into the wrong area, my bad, that obviously like now I'm trying to steal from you. Now I'm trying to steal from you too. So that was frustrating. And I remember like after that happened, I opened my jacket and I was like, ooh, it's hot in here or whatever. And I tried to play it off and they kept watching me. And I remember something happened between the worker and me. And I remember just blowing up. And I started like yelling at her, and I was just kind of like, you know, you sitting there following me around and you stereotyping me for stealing. I'm not stealing anything. Nobody want these bad clothes or whatever. I forgot what I said. But then I literally remember, like, I stormed out and my friend stormed out behind me, and she just took her hand and just swiped the whole table and knocked everything on the ground. And then they were just like, we're gonna call the police. We're gonna ban you from the store. And then like me and my friend, we just ran back to my mom and act like nothing happened. We just like ran back to her and I just act like nothing happened. And my mom, oh gosh, she didn't know this story before, but now she knows. Sorry, Mom, because I know you watch my channel. So, anybody else have any experiences?
Like my pal over here in the corner.
Hi,
Yes, you
pal.
I mean, like growing up, like I went to all black schools in elementary school, and then like I went to white middle and high school. So like that was a huge culture shock for me. and then had a teacher. She was just touched, but that's how I feel about her. So. But cause she would say the stupidest things to people. Like, she asked one girl in our class, like one girl, she was Asian. She asked her, she was like, something about being, it was like something, cause like we were learning about like Asia, and she was like, oh, did you experience this when you were in China? And the girl looked at her and she was like, I was adopted. And then, then she was like, oh, oops. And then like she did the same, something similar to like me and like another black kid that was in my class. And like at that time, like in my class, there were only, like when I was in 6th grade, there were less than 100 students in the 6th grade, and they split us up into 4 classes. So in the class that I was in, there were like, it was that girl, like she was of minorities. It was her, me, and another black kid, from what I can remember. So, and that was probably like out of like 20 people that were in the class. And like she would like target us like when we were like reading books and like with certain things. I mean, like that didn't just happen like in her class, that happened like quite a few times, like with like at that school. And I mean, like it was just stupid, like stupid stuff. Like,
what about you?
So I was about like 12, 13 at the time, and I was hearing about all this negativity with the police going on. Mind you, I'm from Georgia, so down south is
Georgia boy.
Down south is no bueno. But, so I was going to like a little convenience store with some friends, and mind you, all of us were black. So just went to the convenience store. I didn't have any money to get anything. I didn't even want anything. I just wanted to look them to accompany them just in case.
Right.
Crazy went down. So go in the store. I just chill. And then as soon as I started walking out, the lady asked me, hey, come back here. And I'm just like, why? What for? She's like, because I know you stole something. I'm like, that's crazy, because I definitely didn't steal nothing. I literally was sitting here, hands behind my back, not even hands behind my back, hands in my pocket rather, just chilling. So then she's like, let me check your bag and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And she was like, she's gonna call the police. Mind you, this lady was black as well, so for her to even think that I would steal something and I'm literally minding my own business, that I didn't really care. I was like, all right, whatever, call the police. I don't really care. Police showed up. It was two white individuals, both from male. They asked me, or they told me to get me back in the car, and I was refusing to get me back in the car because there was just no need for me to get me back in the car if I didn't steal anything. So once I saw both of them like put their hands on the guns and start to withdraw them, I was like, you know what? I'm just getting back in the car because I don't got time for this. I don't have time to be, I have a life to live. I'm trying to at least enjoy it before y'all make a stupid mistake and take my life for something that wasn't what it was.
Right.
So then I got in trouble with my mom because I just being involved with the police was her one thing she did not want me to ever do when growing up. She was like, don't ever get involved with the police. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm not involved. And she, gave me something to cry about because I definitely told her what happened. She was like, yeah, I don't believe you because I was a bad kid.
You're bad?
I was bad. I was sometimes telling the truth, sometimes telling lies. So my mom couldn't figure out which one I was doing at the time. So she beat me, and I wasn't even mad. I was like, okay.
He got that bottoms.
I was like, I understand, because if your child is telling you lies half the time, and your child is telling the truth half the time, you're not gonna know which one to believe.
Yeah.
So, that's just how I was discriminated, I guess you would say. Now thinking about it, now I think about it, it's like, that's crazy. Because I went back home and that convenience store wasn't even open anymore. So I was just like, ha, that's what you get. Stupid.
Oh, that's crazy, because this is so low-key off topic. But
She said,
next question.
no.
Next question.
Okay, so just like with the closing of the convenience store. So I remember my mom told me, my grandmother, she said this company what happened was
One time at band camp.
Shut up. That's what's happening. One time at band camp when my mom told me.
Oh God.
But she was saying like somebody, I think like my mom, my grandmother, she went to like the store and these people were being like terrible to her, like terrible customer service. And it was some racial discrimination going on. So she said that her grandma, or her mother, she told these people about themselves, and then she cursed the store, like put a curse on it. The clothes.
Oh, like some voodoo, like
No, not voodoo. I mean, like you know,
You
things
know,
like
like
with prayer. No, she was a witch.
Okay.
But you know, like when you can pray, you can pray for anything you
That
want.
is true.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, like when you pray about things, she prayed and said, "I pray your store closes
No, that's voodoo.
in the name of Jesus."
That is not
In the name of Jesus.
Jesus name in there. It's a prayer.
I mean, like, but
don't
I mean, like,
yeah.
the fact of the matter,
we know
it's a
that's
curse.
voodoo.
you that ain't
Yeah,
voodoo.
lady.
That's a
Come
miracle.
down there and
She
give
said
you.
that's
Come
a
down there and give
miracle.
you.
That is a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle that the
the fact
store
of the matter is,
Yeah.
when it's negative, when it's negativity being put out, even if it is
Exactly.
in prayer,
Because God
In the
don't
name-
like ugly.
exactly.
Tell
It's
you that
still
right.
So you can pray for some other. I wish
Yes,
she
you
catch
can.
cancer. Oh, you can do that.
Yes, you can.
Oh, he was just saying. I heard he was saying her
What
grandmama.
did you
No,
say?
I mean, like,
you pray something.
honestly, my
She
grandma
just, first of all, no. Stop this. All right, so she just prayed. She just prayed for the store to go down.
But
Not only
She
did
said
she
close.
stop.
Yes, indeed.
It closed. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
okay, yes.
okay.
She
It
didn't
closed.
say go down.
So that's how many people that lost their job. That's
Not
a community that lost the
Well,
store.
wait.
That was
Oh,
That's
Wait,
money.
preach.
That's coming
wait.
into the community.
That was
Preach, brother, preach.
Was it a mom and pop store?
I don't know all the details.
How you gonna bring up the
so-
story and not know the details?
First of all,
In conclusion,
First of all,
We're
my
broke.
grandmother did pass away.
We're both
I never
ruining
met
each other's
her.
lives here. So you're saying one way of
I
ruining a
don't
life
know
is
what
better
happened.
than another.
I'm
yes,
not
brother, that's why I'm here.
All I was just saying,
So
I was like,
this
I was
person
like,
got
oh,
cancer.
this
Oh,
just happened.
you closed down the whole store. That's so bad.
well, I mean, if this bad service is probably, it was going to end up closing anyways.
All
So,
I'm saying is that is what happened.
She just wants to share her
Ain't
story.
nobody saying
You can
that
pray
it was
for a
right.
store to
We're
close down.
discriminating. We talking about
It just-
this now.
Wow.
It was a thing that happened in the past. That store is closed.
Back in the day,
Then-
it was different.
All right, so moving on to the next question, guys. We're gonna take a quick break. Stand by.
And see.
All right, guys, so now we're back. And the next question is, has the environment in your work area changed? And if so, what were the changes? So from personal experience, from what I've noticed, since the Black Lives Matter movement, I want to say I've noticed that like my command is doing more meetings and doing more open discussions to where we can discuss our feelings on the racial issues that are occurring today. And what are you guys' experiences? Have you guys noticed any changes inside of your work areas? Positives or negatives?
No positive, no negative.
Nah,
They ain't done
neutral.
nothing.
It's neutral.
just
Oh,
that
so you-
one. Just that
No,
one meeting.
that
we
one
had.
meeting that
That
we
was
had.
it.
And it
Oh,
wasn't
y'all had
even.
meetings?
No, it was.
As I said, y'all had meetings? That's crazy. Also,
We had-
We're not gonna talk about
And it's
it.
only because
We-
the chief actually said something. If he wouldn't have said nothing, we wouldn't have had nothing.
oh, y'all chief kept.
But it wasn't.
No, we're talking about like the chief of the Air Force. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
if he never said nothing.
Look at me.
So with our work area and our individual organization, we had a big meeting, and it was like a powwow type thing, but it was also a little thing that everybody can get their thoughts out there and everybody get a chance to express themselves. So we got everybody together and just to talk about it, what's on everybody's minds, and they was talking how their families are going through it right now, or their families are going marching, doing the peace rally and all that kind of stuff. There were some tears, a lot of people cried.
Oh,
but
wow.
It brought all of us as a team closer. We're already close. Like we're already like having get-togethers probably every weekend, so we're already close knit. like for a work group,
Right.
Close knit, but for us to have that powwow and everybody get together and discuss all their feelings, everybody get out their tears and all that kind of stuff, it brought us closer. Like now we're not even a unit. Now we could just like we got a whole group chat, like our whole like.
Oh
leadership and
wow!
everything. We got a whole group chat that says like, "Oh, we're gonna be meeting up here. We're gonna talk," and like.
And that's
it brought us
happened
closer.
since everything.
Yeah, since everything.
Dang.
Wow, that's actually really good. That's
That is.
really positive.
Must be nice.
It is.
Must be, it sounds so
Must be
splendid,
nice.
rather. Not nice, splendid.
Because I mean, I feel like in ours, I
I don't think they would like the
anything
things.
has changed.
I don't
I
think
feel
they
like-
would like the things
They
people
just
say.
like they.
I
I mean,
think
like
that's why they haven't did one.
Another
one
thing,
person
I feel like
acknowledged it, and then that was.
don't wait for action, make the action. So I
Mhm.
think instead of waiting for somebody to speak up, I think you, as young leaders, should go ahead and be like, "Hey, y'all, we should really do this," or "We should have a meeting," or go to your chain
Yeah.
of command and say, "Hey, yo, we need to discuss this. We need to hash this out and everything." Like, don't
But
just
they're
wait
the
for
type.
action.
They're the type to be like, "Yeah, we'll try to help you," and they never do it.
But
Well,
you don't
there's-
really
there's
need their
always-
help to do it. I mean, just like situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't command driven. This is Brianna driven, you know? So you don't really need people or a command to necessarily back you up on just being able to get your feelings out all on the table and discuss the issues.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I mean, like for me, like personally, like that one meeting that we had, like I mean, like that was nice. That was good.
She's just like, it was cute.
It was nice.
It was. I mean, like I felt like it was really nice to talk about that. But I mean, like for me, like personally, like from my experiences, like with early on, like when the Black Lives Matter movement started, like when I was in college, like the places that I worked, like we didn't really discuss that stuff at work. Like it was always like your work life and your home life and your opinions, they don't go to work with you. So for me, I've carried that into my military career because I'm like, this is work, this is home, my opinions stay at home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if y'all, I mean, unless you say something crazy to me, then we can have that discussion. But otherwise, you be on about your day and I'll be about mine. Because I'm not here to, I was like, I'm just not here to befriend you, and I'm here to do work.
Sometimes
Right.
I wish we had like a black person in our leadership.
I've had a command where it was just
Just one
Oh.
person. Just one person.
But
I mean, but sometimes it's not
I feel like it depends on like who that person is,
Yeah.
True.
and also like either way, like there can be toxic leadership, like black or white, like
exactly.
regardless. So
Mhm.
I feel like it all depends on that person's.
But I feel like if a black person in
Leadership
leadership actually like during this time, they will actually have a lot of meetings because it affects their lives too. Like having other races in, leadership, or they don't care because they can't relate.
Yeah.
So you feel as though that there would be more impacts, like in the change in the work environment, had there been someone that has specifically like gone through the things that we're going through and
Yeah.
can relate more.
Yeah. They will probably have more meetings, to talk it out. But if you can't relate to something, you just, don't care about it.
That's actually something that I mentioned in my video of me doing this, like on my own perspective. So that's kind of that's cute. That you mentioned it. It's cute. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next question is: do you believe the military is making progress with its most recent changes to combat racism in the military?
It's going to take a long time for it to actually take full effect
Why you feel like that?
because nothing changes just like that.
Yeah. Process improvement is always slow,
Yes.
especially with the government.
It's very, yes.
It's like,
That is so true.
like it,
It'll probably take a
it'll
whole
take
year from now,
time.
I feel like.
or more. And I mean, like
Yes.
you're also changing people's attitudes. Like, I mean, like one thing is like that the military just admitted to racial biases in punishment. It's like
Yeah.
that they just this
Yes.
year in 2020.
And how long the Air Force been the Air
Yo,
Force? Too
my
long.
grandpa was in the Air Force. and there was racial bias when he was in. And then now in 2020 is like when you just finally decide to be like, you know what? Yeah, we did that. It's like, duh. It's just so annoying. It's like everybody has like in every area of the United States, like there's racial bias, and it's like in other parts of the world there's racial bias. It's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing that they took so long to admit that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I guess it's cool that they did now, but I
It's
don't
still
know.
not gonna
Like,
change some people's thought about other people though.
because, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people see like these little strides as like being like big, like big things. They're like, oh yeah, this finally happened, and I'm just like, it should have been happened.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like, I don't know. I just feel impatient about stuff. I'm like, yo, this is how we should have been treated. And it's like, it's just disgusting that people felt otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you still feel otherwise, you disgust me.
True.
Period.
Yeah. So the last and final thing that I want you guys to do, go ahead and take out your phones.
Tell your device.
This is going to be a cute little experiment. So I want you to pull up Google and Google. And the thing is, I saw this actually on the Shade Room. No shade to the Shade Room. But I saw this on the Shade Room. So pull up Google and Google professional hairstyles.
I already know what
my
you're talking
gosh.
about. I'm not even gonna Google.
Let me see. I
already know what
never.
you're talking about. I've seen it like 5 times. Social
What,
media.
you talking about the pictures?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
How it's all white people or something?
okay, and then when you Google unprofessional hairstyles.
Oh, just go ahead and look it up. Y'all gonna be so mad. Disappointed if you.
Dang, that's crazy.
So what are you guys seeing when you see the unprofessional hairstyles? Explain to the camera what
When I
you're
saw
seeing.
that,
It's
Jesus.
black. It's actually black people in their natural,
wow, I
and it's
can't
their
even speak.
natural hair.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
I
did
don't wanna say
you
nothing.
know this before, or did you Google this before
No, I
today?
never Googled this before.
So this is your initial reaction, like on this.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
It's real trifling.
Yeah. How did it make you feel?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Like since you picked me, have a hand up, waiting. Finally.
now,
I
professional
never.
hairstyles. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I figured like if a black person were on the professional hairstyle, they probably have like their haircut low, 10 fade, whatever. That's a professional hairstyle. And people like me or other people around the world like to grow our hair out or want to grow our hair out. You can't call that unprofessional if we make it look good, make it
It's predominant.
keep the appearance, especially in the military. Like you can't have your hair touching your ears or something, whatever. That's for males rather, or for males. And so, me, I make sure I get 10 fade. I make sure I pick my hair out every morning before I go to work, or when I do go to work. And when I don't go to work, my hair looking just like this, or actually looking somewhat decent. But I really don't be caring about my hair, how it looks once I'm off duty. Once I'm off duty, my hair is my hair. Like, seeing unprofessional hairstyles and you having dreads. I mean, I'm half Jamaican. I done seen so many people with dreads,
That's discrimination already.
and that just made me mad. Just like, that's crazy. Cause I know so many people back at home and back in Jamaica that have dreads, like dreads that are long, like touching their calf and stuff like that, and they would call it unprofessional. It's like, it's not their fault. They want to grow their hair out and actually make their hair look good.
Right.
And seeing as how most black people have nice curly soft hair, it's not our fault that our hair is different texture, all that good stuff than the other races. Like, there's one stat sergeant was telling me, this person's hair, it's always looking good, because he has he can just move with his fingers and there. I'm just like, that's cute. It sounds good. But you're not going through my struggles. You don't have to pick your hair every 24/7 to make sure that you're staying in rays, or you don't have to make sure that you take a mirror to your head like every 5 seconds to make sure that your hair is not out of range. I have to do that like every single time I go into work. Like, They're like, oh, your hair is looking a little off. And I'm like, that's crazy. I literally just picked the knife 2 seconds ago. I know how to pick my hair. You want to come pick it for me? Because I just don't understand why.
I hate that hair thing, honestly.
Honestly, the thing is,
I don't understand that professional and unprofessional. That's stupid.
I don't understand why is that even like a part of the military. Like,
I don't see that's a big deal.
if it looks good,
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
Mhm.
It ain't like we finna go to war. They're like, oh, I see somebody with hot top fade. Like, no, that ain't how it is.
Because the thing is, like, what I would do, like, on your part, like, with that, pull out that young AFI.
You know,
The
they done pulled it out on me a
does
couple
say
times.
that you can have 3 inches. 3 inches. Now, I've definitely seen some white dudes
Yes.
where the hair is slicked back and it is longer than 3 inches.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, wow, just because they can slick it back. But if your hair grows 3 inches, like, I would get a ruler. I'd be like, I got my 3 inches. Okay? This is 3 inches that I can grow. Like, as a man, like, I'll just be like, no, I'm good. Thank you, though. Thank you for your concern.
Well, when we
Because
work,
if you
they're not
know-
as strict on.
Yeah.
I mean, but how do you guys feel the fact that they deem like black people are more so represented as having unprofessional hairstyles, and then there's more like white people like represented as having professional hairstyles?
I feel like it should be the other way around.
Just racist.
I think
Discrimination.
I think it's racism at its finest. That's just like when we figured out this little thing a while back. If you look in a dictionary, if you look up the word white, what is the meaning of white? What does what do you see when you see white? Then when you look up black in the definition of black, it's pretty much racism in the meaning. It's like how I want to say how people view us, but how
How would they
racist
respond?
people view us.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you look in the dictionary in white, it's like pure,
Yeah.
pure
Innocent.
evil, innocent. And if you look up black, it's like
It's like,
straight opposite, polar
Yeah.
opposite.
Dark.
like evil and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Well, guys, this concludes this conversation tonight on what it's like being black in the military today during the Black Lives Matter movement. These were our personal experiences, our personal opinion, and nothing that should be taken out of context, misinterpreted, or anyone should take offense to, because this is just personal experiences. So thank you guys for watching my channel, and make sure you guys click the subscribe button down below and go ahead and hit that bell notification so you can be updated on all of my future YouTube videos. Thank you guys. Bye.